Can you hear us? Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, it's on. So first of all, I'd like to kind of bring us to a wrap-up point. So today has been an awesome day. I think we had a tremendous speaker with Simon. And one of the things that when Simon talked about is the why. Why do we do the things that we do? I thought was very compelling. We don't think in those terms most of the time. So when we sit here and we talk about fusion, we think about fusion, we want to get there. If we want to become more fused, how are we going to go about doing that? And sometimes after an event like this, I get approached by a lot of attendees saying, great, I love the messaging, but what next? I get it, I'm bought into it, I want to move in this direction, I want to do these things that we've talked about, but what next? How do I get there? And what I want you to think about as you leave here and you start asking those same kind of questions, you start saying, well, what next? I want you to think of Atrion as a point in time that we're the catalyst for fusion for your organizations. We can help you make that transformation. We're doing it in our organization. We talk to many clients here in our room, and we get the knowledge from them of things that they're doing to move themselves to a more fused environment. We can help share that knowledge. So I want you to think of us as a way to help you navigate that. So when we think about this, what are some of the ways, tangible ways, that we can walk away and help you become more fused in your organization? And some of the stuff you can do on your own. You know, we heard some great stories today from Jack and HP Hood and from Henry and Susan at Simon's International. The first thing starts with education. Education is the key to this whole thing. How we educate our teams, how we communicate with organizations, they become more knowledgeable, how we become more, how we communicate with our clients to allow them to become more knowledgeable is the first step that we need to look at. You can start this on your own. And like Jack created a whole 6-stage leadership training program. He's on module 3. He's executing to that. You can also engage Atrion. We do a ton of training. We believe education is the #1 way to empower organizations. And our clients, we want them to be empowered to be able to grow their business in a way that's more successful. So we do tons of training, from formal trainings like Leadership Challenge. Some of you in this room have actually attended those sessions and hopefully got a lot out of them and had a lot of excitement and fun. To coming in to help the message within your own team. We've gone into our organizations and actually led sessions with the IT organization. We help them understand fusion, understand how to move from a good company to a greater company or a greater organization. So we can help in those. It's a phone call away. Call us, ask us, and we're more than willing to help in any fashion we can.
Second way in which we can help is in empowerment. And I would take that word and add another to it, and it's engagement. As I mentioned when I spoke earlier, we really want to take IT and have them identify themselves with the business. We can help to work with you to engage with the business. A perfect example was actually shared by Susan when she was up here on the panel, where we've come in and we're working cross-organizationally with IT and other areas of the business to identify opportunities for improvement or areas in which they could leverage technology to improve upon their business. We have services that we can help in doing that. We're constantly educating within the IT department to understand fusion and want to get more involved with the business. We're perfectly comfortable and very, very willing and yearning to come in and work directly with your business stakeholders in helping to bridge that gap and to build that trust bridge.
The next area I think we can help is when you want to move to a more fused environment, you want to get to where you can deliver that always-on performance on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes it's hard to figure out where you're going to go when you don't know where you're starting from. And so one of the things we've been doing over the last year is collecting information from a lot of people in this room and analyzing and looking at how we can make sense of it and help people understand how to assess their organization. So we can actually provide you some insight in that area. So if you want to assess your organization yourself, we can help you understand how to do that, how to measure it, determine where you are now, and be able to move to the future. We've also created a set of assessment tools that we can come in and actually lead that discussion for your organization. And at the end of that, you would get a report that would show where you are on the diagrams that we talked about for the 4 different types of companies and how they're fused, to actually with recommendations of things you can start to do today that can help move you in a direction faster.
Finally, as was mentioned previously, you have to make a conscious choice to make shift happen. You have to get yourself closer to the business and make sure you understand the business. And then you have to look to improve the run or operate elements of your organization for 2 reasons. One is we all recognize that running a lean, mean IT organization is what builds credibility and trust with the organization. And 2, is we want to look at opportunities to shift some of that expense from run over to some of the areas where we could provide more incremental or exponential return on investment to the organization by focusing on some of the growth and transformation things. By shifting and pulling back, even in looking at the way that we run, and not just looking at IT running IT, but IT as it helps to run the business, we can do things in a completely different way. A great example, as we shared earlier, was instead of just managing mail, by focusing on the technology itself, why not pull back and look at what impact does mail have on the business? What is the priority for mail? And how does the business flow and how does mail actually contribute to that business flow? And then let's look at managing that holistically, managing that proactively, whether it's yourselves, and we can even help you to set that up and have a good look at what are the right things to do in making that happen, or leveraging partnerships with organizations like ours, where we can be that strategic partner, that trusted partner to deliver on some of those operational elements in a proactive way, enabling you to still be the bridge to the business, between IT and the business.
So to kind of summarize this, there's four main ways that we can help you today. One, we can help with education. We can help empowerment, where we start new conversations with the business. Number three, we can help you assess where you're at and help you design a strategy to get to where you want to go. And last but not least, we can be able to help you run your IT organization better. So those are the areas that we can help you with. What I'd like to do now is just kind of go into the closing of this so we can go over and have some fun, have some drinks over at CBS Scene.